This is OGTV Main News. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Bukola Agbakiso. On the news, NAFDAC approves AstraZeneca vaccine for use in Nigeria. Police begin arrest search for Kagara abductees. Nigeria exits recession, records 0.11% growth. Australia dismisses intimidation by Facebook newsban. Dignity of labor has to be a national duty. It has to be a part of our nature.
And on sport news tonight, Super Eagles dropped to 36 in latest FIFA rankings. I'll be back to keep you abreast of more happenings from the world of sports. My name is Moses Ojewumi. Stay with us.
We'll begin with politics. The former governor of Ogun State, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, has registered to become a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC. The former governor arrived Ward 13 Ishote polling unit, Shagamu, in company of his wife, Yeye Olufunke Daniel. The duo was received by the chairman, Membership Registration and Revalidation Committee in Ogun State, Honorable Ademorin Kuye, at the polling unit for the exercise. After due registration, the chairman of the party in Ishote Ward 13, Soji Olusegun, presented Otumba Gbenga Daniel and his wife with their cards. The registration confirms the membership of the former governor of Ogun State, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, as a bona fide member of the party. On road construction, the 4-kilometer Oba Erinwole Road in Shagamu local government area is receiving Ogun State government's attention as contractors are on the road to ensure timely completion. The road has been in a deplorable condition before the current administration on the state, led by Prince Dapo Abiodun, deemed it fit for repairs. The contractor on site, Moses Okwo, said they are currently working on the drainages, which is expected to be completed before the end of the month.
Well, we are working for Ogun State Public Works. This road is Oba Erinwole Road, connecting Express Junction, that is Abeokuta or Express Junction. So Ikorodu Road is about 4-kilometer road. 4 kilometers. From that end to the other end is 4-kilometer road. Well, as you can see, we are still doing a drainage, but we are almost rounding up. The drainage work is almost rounding up. So, by the special grace of God, before Saturday next week, we'll finish everything about drainage on both sides. So we now start that work.
Nation Market Road and Ikene Mayflower Road are also receiving government's attention. Transportation for societal development can only be achieved when adequate infrastructure and enforcement regulations are standardized for the socio-economic development of the country. Guest lecturer Professor Kayode Oyeshiku stated this during the Maiden Transportation Summit and Awards put together by Diamond Communications Network held at Imperial Hotel Quarry Road, Abeokuta. The State Commissioner for Transportation, Engineer Gbenga Dairo, among other stakeholders, graced the occasion. Yusuf Ganil reports.
Transportation is a crucial component that contributes largely to the socio-economic growth of a country. This gathering is the Maiden Transportation Summit and Awards organized by the Diamond Communications Network, which is basically to address some of the challenges facing the transport sector and deliberate on the best practices to help formulate workable policies and strategies that will reform the sector in the country. Ogun State Commissioner for Transportation, who also doubles as the chairman of the occasion, Engineer Gbenga Dairo, said the summit is a good platform where all stakeholders can share their experiences on issues affecting the transport sector.
In the form of other taxis, buses, motorcycle taxis, okadas, tricycling, and so on. So there's an important need for us to have a critical look of that sector and a paradigm shift how we manage and administer this particular sector of road transportation. And that is important and a high priority for His Excellency.
Dwelling on the theme of the summit, transportation and societal development, prospects, reformation and challenges, guest lecturer and former Vice-Chancellor, Taishira University of Education, Ijagun Ijebu, Professor Kayode Oyeshiko, said the huge economic potentials of the transport sector can only be achieved if government and other stakeholders rise up to their responsibilities.
Comfortability of life is also the ability to move from one place to the other without any obstruction. But that particular mobility is a function of the income that you have. If you don't have much of the income, you will not be able to pay for those services.
Some stakeholders described the summit as apt. The convener of the program, Desmond Iwachuku, gave more insight to the essence of the event.
Transportation is an integral process in the development of any society, and we cannot but continue to discuss it. So what we have done here today is simply to bring people together to look at the state of transportation and the role of transportation in the development of our society.
High points of the event was the presentation of awards to Alhaji Titilayo Akibu, Alhaji Samsidin Akbelogun, and Alhaji Shefiu Alao for their contribution not only to the transportation sector but also to humanity. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
The establishment of the Federal Road Safety Corps was born out of the need to ameliorate the challenges posed by road crashes in the country. In those special reports, Adebola Oshomoji extols the core objectives of the Federal Road Safety Corps and effects on the Nigerian roads in the past years.
Following a series of catastrophes of unparalleled proportions that was about to engulf the road transport sector in Nigeria, where over 40,881 crashes were recorded in the year 1976 alone, concerned citizens led by Professor Wole Soyinka stood to liberate their fatherland from the shackles of road traffic crashes.
There are certain drivers who are worse terrorists than Boko Haram and herdsmen put together. Those whose brains are incapable of imagining what happens to other drivers on the road as long as they can have their own way.
Bringing down the trend of crashes and reducing fatalities on the road through robust public education on the use of the highways, prompt rescue services, removal of obstructions, patrol operations stakeholders cooperation, among others. In pursuit of the mandate, the Corps has been involved in the training and retraining of private, commercial and government drivers through its Road Transport Safety Standardization Certification Program, which aimed at regulating the largely unregulated road transport system and reducing road traffic crashes to the barest minimum, while institutionalizing safety procedures in the road transport sector.
This is the real measure of our road safety activities, continuous education of road users.
To ameliorate the challenges posed by road traffic crashes in the country, the Federal Road Safety Corps was established on the 18th of February 1988, as today marks its 33 years of existence. Adebola Oshomoji, OGTV News.
It is widely believed that community policing could be a suitable alternative to conventional policing, especially in a developing society like Nigeria. It is also a form of policing that builds trust and confidence between people at the grassroots and the government. In those special reports, Bumi Adigun takes a look at what could be the strength of community policing as well as its challenges.
In the face of crime and violence in the country, there is need for strong security network that will keep safe all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. This gave birth to community policing, which is expected to serve as a security strategy adopted as an alternative or supplementary effort from the immediate community to support the police in combating crimes in the society. Community policing addresses the root of crime and help reduce the fear that non-law-abiding citizens bestow on the community. Deputy Superintendent of Police and the Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Police Ogun State Command, Abimbola Oyeyemi, speaks on the operations of community policing.
There's no police officer that can succeed in policing an area without the cooperation of the members of that community. And that is why the issue of community policing is very, very important, because the people that are, those that are born and brought up in that community, they will know the terrain. They will know, even every members of that community will be known to them. Unlike somebody who just come, a policeman that was just posted to that area for maybe he was just there, he has just been there for a period of 2 or 3 years.
Stakeholders in the Project Nigeria said the best way to go is for everyone to take security as a responsibility.
And there is no viable security network without information. And by the time we have somebody in a community who is reputable, who is sincere, full of integrity, and he can confidently work as far as the rudiment of what is being told to do is concerned, and he will not compromise, then the community will be secure.
From the Police Community Relations Committee, community policing gives citizens more control over the quality of life in their community.
We should be able to secure ourselves. How do I mean? Let us have a database of the people that are living in the community. Let us know the type of job they are doing. Let us know where they go to and when they come back. And by then, we'll be able to fish out some of the ethnic criminals living in our communities.
The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, at one of his appearances before the National Assembly, speaks on the concept and program of community policing.
We believe that everybody comes from a community, and the community, in the community, you know who and who is there. So taking policing back to the community will help in reducing crime to the barest minimum.
Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
And still to come in the news, President Buhari picks new heads for Civil Defense Correctional Service. Join us in part 2 for details. Thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari says the outgoing administration of Muhammadu Sofo of the Republic of Niger deserves accolades for keeping to the country's constitution with respect to the forthcoming runoff polls later this month. This was while receiving in audience a former Vice President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Namadi Sambo, who is ECOWAS head of mission on the election in Niger Republic. No clear winner has emerged in the first round of voting in Nigeria's presidential election, thus compelling a runoff set for February 21st. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulated the ECOWAS mission led by Nigeria's Muhammadu Namadi Sambo on the peaceful and orderly conduct of the polls in line with the provision of Nigeria's constitution. He noted that as the nation's very close neighbor, the peace of the country must matter to Nigeria. As he put it, during the closed-door engagement, neighborliness, whether national or individual, is very important as lack of peace in your neighborhood may affect your own well-being. President Buhari wished the Republic of Niger as well as Namadi Sambo led ECOWAS mission best of luck in their assignment. The former Vice President Muhammadu Namadi Sambo, had told the president that campaigns have been peaceful thus far as contending political parties seal deals and alliances for outright victory. In the first round of election, Mohamed Bazoum, former Minister of Interior and Foreign Affairs, led with 39.33% of the votes cast compared to former President Muhammad Usman, who polled 17%. Both scores fall short of the required 50% for outright presidential victory. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Ahmed Abubakar Audi as the new Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, announced on Thursday. He said the appointment followed the retirement from service of Abdullahi Gana Muhammadu in January. The minister also added that the president approved the nomination of Aliru Nababa as the new Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. A statement signed by the Ministry of Interior's Director of Press, Mohammed Manga, said Malam Ahmed Audi emerged the top best candidate out of those that went through the transparent selection process initiated by the ministry. Furthermore, President Muhammadu Buhari has also nominated Haliru Nababa as the new Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. He said the nomination is subject to the confirmation of the Senate in line with the provision of the new act establishing the Nigerian Correctional Service 2019. The Minister of Interior and Chairman, Civil Defense Correctional, Fire and Immigration Board, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, who congratulated the new appointees, called on them to ensure full implementation of the mandates of the services, as well as to ensure synergy with other security agencies in the country. Governors under the aegis of Nigeria Governors Forum have offered to seed portions of the excess crude accounts and other funds to support the purchase of additional hardware for security forces to combat insecurity. Chairman of the NGF and Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, said this while briefing the media on the outcome of an emergency meeting of the forum at the Aso Rock Villa, Abuja today. The forum commends President Muhammadu Buhari for the appointment of the new service chiefs and thanks them for greater protection of the country against external aggression.
We are prepared to support the dedication of portions of the excess crude account and the Natural Resource Development Fund or the Economic Stabilization Fund to providing the necessary equipment for the military and other security institutions to address immediately the impunity associated with all of the crimes and criminality that we have highlighted in this briefing.
The forum sympathizes with the victims of violence and other criminal attacks across the country and pledged to strengthen humanitarian support and security reinforcement to avert future occurrences. The NGF also resolved to ensure versatile security across Nigeria's borders to check proliferation of weapons and improve on the National Livestock Transformation Plan to end farmers' herders' crisis. The forum says original security outfits will be strengthened to enhance operational conventional security agencies to reduce crimes and criminality. The forum, however, called for restraint in the use of social media and ethnic profiling. The Nigeria Police Force has deployed more officers to Niger State to ensure the safe rescue of kidnapped students, teachers, and other staff of Government Science College, Kagara. The police spokesperson, Frank Umba, made us known in a statement that the police is committed to the safe rescue of all abductees, says IGP on Thursday. Umba also said that area surveillance had begun to ensure the rescue of the victims. The statement also read that the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has assured the nation that the force is irrevocably committed to the safe rescue of all abductees in the recent attack on Government Science College, Kagara, in Rafi local government area of Niger State and other related incidents. The IGP notes that a joint massive search and rescue mission involving the police, the military, and other law enforcement agencies is ongoing to ensure that all abducted persons are rescued unhurt and reunited with their families. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved the use of AstraZeneca vaccine for use in Nigeria. Its Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said on Thursday, with this development, Nigeria stands in a better position in the ongoing battle against the infection of coronavirus pandemic among the global community. It was reported that the AstraZeneca vaccine was recently approved by the World Health Organization for emergency use to curtail the spread of COVID-19. Adeyeye, at a press conference in Abuja, said NAFDAC got the dossier of the vaccine a week ago, while its safety committee went to work immediately to evaluate its safety and efficacy for Nigerians. The federal government has engaged 5,000 independent monitors to verify disbursements running into billions of naira made to Nigerians under the National Social Investment Program, SAPE. Out of this number, 195 monitors were selected from Lagos. The monitors have started a 2-week training program. SAPE, created by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016 with the mandate of lifting citizens out of poverty warehouses, a number of social interventions which include the Job Creation Program, NPAR, National Homegrown School Feeding Program, Conditional Cash Transfer Program, and the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program. Trader money, market money, farmer money, special grant transfer, public workfare, and skills for jobs are all under these programs. Also, a unified national social register is to be inaugurated that will provide a database of all government intervention programs, including the list of beneficiaries nationwide. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, said in Lagos that 5,000 independent monitors have been assigned to monitor program beneficiaries within their schools, households, and market clusters, with the focus of ensuring that the primary objective of the programs were achieved. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, said it has successfully mopped up excess cash totaling 147 billion naira, which some ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, illegally diverted for the 2020 budget as personal cost. Chairman of ICPC, Professor Bolaji Owasoye, who disclosed this at a one-day interactive session with directors of finance and accounts, as well as internal auditors of key agencies of the federal government, added that investigation by the commission also revealed that 51 health sector institutions were involved in budget manipulations. According to him, a summary of findings from the 51 health sector institutions showed that they had, among other things, engaged in padding of nominal roles, widespread misuse of personnel costs, allocation of null personnel-related expenditure, especially on outsourced services, to the tune of 4.5 billion naira, and fraudulent diversion of funds through manipulation of account numbers of beneficiaries on the GIFMI platform. He said that ICPC found out that institutions had unspent excess balances to the tune of 4.86 billion naira despite abuses and income of the budgetary allocation. In a relationship, trust has been identified as a fundamental instrument of navigating pathway to success, as it plays a vital role in forming bond, unity, and happiness. In this special report, Margaret Okunlola examines trust issues in relationships and signs to watch out for healing mistrust.
Trust is the act of placing confidence in someone or something, as it is necessary for every relationship to thrive. Every relationship has issues and challenges that arise over a period. The important key is to be proactive and find a resolution. In any relationship, when there are trust issues, it can create judgment, fear, and over time, suspicions as well as doubts. Respondents speak on the possible causes that can affect a person's ability to trust others.
Mistrust can come through lies.
For marriage, it might just be the issue of infidelity.
Insecurities. Another reason is lack of communication. Communication fuels every form of relationship.
Mental health causes of trust problems. People that have paranoid personality, people that have paranoid personality, they have trust problems. They have problem trusting other people that are coming around them. The other people that have paranoid schizophrenia, these are mental health problems. Then there's another one in people that work called delusion of infidelity.
The equally noted signs to look out for in relationship for early detection of mistrust.
People that have trust problems, they find it difficult opening up to other people. They're highly secretive.
When they begin to ask you questions repeatedly, so say they've already asked you before that, where are you? And you say, I'm at work. And then they call like 2-3 times, where are you? Are you sure you're at work? What are you wearing? Are you sure? You know, things like that. It means that, man, I said I'm at work, why don't you trust me? Or if you're in a business contract or business relationship with somebody, and then you have agreed that this is where you're going to meet for the business deal or anything, you've agreed on something, and the person constantly puts you on a spot, asks you questions from the blues, and makes you feel like you don't know what you're doing.
They also suggested how to get over trust issues in relationships.
Communication is important. Talk about it, you know. Let your partner or whoever it is you're in that relationship with, let them know that I have issue with this thing, and it's actually causing a whole lot of havoc on our relationship.
If the person is willing to change, yes, then there could be a sort of progress. But if the person is not willing to change, the only way to heal will be for you to move on, for you to walk away. But if this person is family, you just have to make sure that your business does not tally with this person.
Processing the hurt. If someone is the hurt in the past, then either seek for therapy with a therapist who will help you to overcome it. Then the person might need the help of a psychiatrist to help the person walk through the health problems or also trust problems that the person have.
It was affirmed that trust is needed in any form of relationship for progress and unity to reign in the society. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, Amit Odumosu, has condemned the act of impersonation by some individuals who parade themselves as security operatives in the state and ordered the divisional police officers and detectives to be on the lookout for them. The Commissioner of Police refers to some cases where dismissed officers and civilians parade themselves as serving members or personnel of the Nigerian Police Force, the military and security agencies, including the Lagos State-owned agencies, to perpetrate illegal acts in the state. He also warns the general public to beware of such impersonators who said are fond of impersonating the police, military or other security agencies at the detriment of the security system. The Lagos Police Boss also directs the Deputy Commissioner of Police, CID Panti Yaba, DCP Adegoke Fayuade, to immediately prosecute one Anya Okore, who was recently arrested by the police operatives attached to K2 Division, and one Usman Ali, who was also arrested with the Nigerian Army camouflage vest by the police operatives attached to Surulere Division, to court for impersonation. CP Akim Odumosu assures the general public that the command will work with other security agencies in the state to fight acts of impersonation in order to sanitize the system and strengthen the security platform of Lagos State. On business news segments, external reserves down by $565 million in 2 weeks. Stay tuned for details when I return. Thanks for joining us. Nigeria's gross domestic product recorded a slight growth of 0.11% in the fourth quarter of 2020. The latest figures from the National Bureau of Statistics revealed on Thursday. The NBS disclosed in its report on Nigeria's gross domestic product for quarter 4 and full year 2020 that the GDP contracted by 1.92% in 2020. Part of the report read that Nigeria's gross domestic product grew by 0.11% year-on-year in real terms in the fourth quarter of 2020, representing the first positive quarterly growth in the last 3 quarters. Though weak, the positive growth reflects the gradual return of economic activities following the easing of restricted movement and limited local and international commercial activities in the preceding quarters. As a result, while the Q4 2020 growth rate was lower than growth rate recorded the previous year by 2.44% points, it was higher by 3.74% points compared to Q3 2020. The country's external reserves dipped by $565 million from $36.198 billion as of February 1 to $35.633 billion as of February 15. Latest figures from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows the reserves, which had gained in recent weeks, started a downward trend on January 26, on which date it declined to $36.34 billion. The reserves, which commenced the year at $35.65 billion, rose to $36.52 billion as of January 26. The latest monthly economic report of the CBN stated that despite the increase in economic activities, globally and positive news of a COVID-19 vaccine, the external reserves declined due to lower foreign exchange receipts and sustained intervention to stabilize the exchange rate. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has confirmed that some cryptocurrencies were being used for money laundering and drug trafficking. This confirmation from the IMF thus corroborates what the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has been saying about cryptocurrency transactions in the country. The IMF resident representative for Nigeria, Mr. Ari Asen, made this known during a virtual briefing on the recently published 2020 Article 4 IMF staff report for Nigeria. According to Asen, many central banks around the world have taken similar policy decisions as the CBN. African trade unions have called on the newly appointed Director General of the World Trade Organization, WTO, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, to ensure that global trade agreements promote workers' rights, eradicate poverty, and guarantee sustainable industrial development in the world. They made this appeal in a congratulatory message to the new WTO Director General, signed by the Vice President, Industrial Global Union, IGU Africa, Issa Aremu, and Joseph Montsese of South Africa, National Union of Mine Workers, and also co-chairman, the African Council of the Global Union. That was the business segment of the news. Up next is The World Today, as packaged by Shemilori Makonju. Nearly 7 million people in the U.S. state of Texas have been told to boil tap water before consuming it after a deadly winter storm caused power blackouts at treatment facilities. Also, protesters took to the street in Barcelona and Catalonia following the dramatic arrest of rapper Pablo Hasél earlier in the day. Let's now join Shemilori Makonju for details.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said his government will not be intimidated by Facebook blocking newsfeed to users. He described the move to unfriend Australia as arrogant and disappointing. Facebook is responding to a proposed law which would make tech giants pay for news content on their platforms. Australians on Thursday woke up to find that Facebook pages of all local and global news sites were unavailable.
Facebook was wrong. Facebook's actions were unnecessary. They were heavy-handed and they will damage its reputation here in Australia.
This is outrageous and unacceptable. We expect that Facebook will fix these actions immediately and never repeat them again. This is an assault on a sovereign nation. It is an assault on people's freedom, and in particular it is an utter abuse of big technologies, market power and control over technology.
People outside the country are also unable to read or access any Australian news publications on the platform. Mr. Morrison urged Facebook to work constructively with the government, as Google recently demonstrated in good faith.
Nearly 7 million people in the U.S. state of Texas have been told to boil tap water before consuming it after a deadly winter storm caused power blackouts at treatment facilities. The huge storm sweeping across the southern U.S. has killed at least 24 people and left millions without power.
Temperatures will remain across much of the state for the next few days. Most of the state will be below freezing tomorrow morning.
It's an emergency. It's clear that it is a disaster.
Texans are seeing widespread blackouts, freezing temperatures